One of them is physical, is flesh, is mind, is intelligence, all right, is brevity. This shows that man is, the masterpiece. And everything is for man's moving and ascending. But we see that there are some other reasons that man has been somehow for corruption and moving towards decadence. Man alone is enough to destroy everything, even to destroy morality of the world, to destroy humanity in the world is enough. But we see here, as we have these giant creatures, we may think that, they are very dangerous. They are physically revolting. But we see that even little human maybe are more brutal than these giant creatures. All right, so one of the ways toward man's perfection is not through, the flesh. We may say that the bigger, maybe better. But on the other side, we see that those magnified views of man. So here we may see these creatures as, for example, the man under the microscope. And we see every part of man's reason, man's flesh, everything under the microscope and examine him completely. But we see again, these does not propose us with man's reality, man's, let's say, dimensions. As we can find such details through the novel if you have gone through the novel perfectly. Like I was very desired to see the chief temple and particularly the tower belonging to it, which is reckoned in highest in the kingdom. Accordingly, one day, my nurse carried me by the, I came back disappointed, for the height is not above 3,000 foot, reckoning from the ground to the highest pinnacle top. And you see the rest. Okay? So, another question is, what do you think is, the truth? And that since it is traveling, Gulliver is a discoverer of these different lands, so maybe he is like, Odyssey, like Ulysses, in search of something. Since if he was convinced and satisfied with the first voyage, he again changed his mind and never traveled to the other lands. But this shows that he is in search of something. He is going for something. Can we say that that something is the truth? And is he in search of the truth? And what is it? He does not have a very good feeling toward his family, and vice versa. They even do not drink water from the same glass. And also, he is, we can say, alienated from the words. And I want to add As some of you mentioned, it's talking about the nature of man. Don't you think that the author...
Doctor?
Yes, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Maybe we could say, Gulliver, the description of the three people encountered during the fifth travel will help to answer. One might say that the basic anti-release tent is that we should explain the notion of the truth by connecting it with our practice of assertion. In this sense, the outcome of my commentary, the fifth part of Gulliver's Travels, will amount to non-reductive anti-release conception of truth.
Sorry, I didn't catch the... yes, I didn't catch the ending of your idea.
It can be called delectable conception of truth because it focuses about a particular way of resolving disagreements.
Okay. So, see, when we say truth, for instance, maybe there are different types of truth. For example, we may have a religious truth. I don't know what it is achievable or not, or what is actually the consequence of achieving these different types of truth. Whether when we achieve the absolute truth, as Muslims we may think that it's a religion. If thoroughly we obey all the rules and all the principles of our religion, then we may go to truth. But maybe it is achievable. Maybe in some instances it is not achievable. As from the very beginning, Plato and Aristotle also mentioned about this, truth. And maybe abandoning, all concepts of life, whether it is rational or it is irrational. All the abstractions, all the things that may seem vicious to man, and even vices and vicious, both of them. Then at this stage, man may come to the truth. And some of the postmodernist, thinkers believe, Heidegger, Isaiah, and the others. If man free his mind from everything, even from particularly from language, then he may achieve the absolute truth. What remains in his mind is absolute truth. Now, do you think that Gulliver is going to move forward this type of wheeling in his life, this type of capability in his life, absorbing all or finding all these capabilities, whether it is rational or irrational, whether it is moral or immoral?
May I say something?
Yes, actually, yes.
I think the truth that Gulliver find out again, it has not absolute truth, but there is what subjective truth, which that means how much you extend your imagination, your ideas, your thoughts about life, about everything in your life, that the truth will be different online. Even if we can find that in our life, in our daily life, there's a lot of things we thought it's the truth, or it's a fact. But after a while, within days, within years.
Maybe you see the other students inactivate their microphone since there is some noises while talking. Yes. Only Barak is activate your microphone and talk. Yes, please. Yes, go ahead.
So, yes, and with getting, with achieving, with having a lot of things in life, that you find a lot of things that you thought is real, then it's become what fake is not real. And
I can't hear you. I can't hear you clearly.
Okay, I think because of we have poor connection.
Let me inactivate my microphone. Maybe it is better. Yes, you see, I muted my microphone since your voice would be clearer.
Is it now?
Yes, continue. If there's a problem again, I intervene. Yes.
So I think that there's not absolute truth, but well, it's about subjective. So within days, within experience you have, there's a lot of things will change, and we can see that in our life. A lot of things we hold in, but this is true. We protect, we defeat against anyone who try to attack them. No, this is real. This is blah blah. But at the end, we find that it's not real. It's fake. We just light at ourselves, or maybe we face ourselves. This is like a disease where we find it in social media or in media. For example, when we talk about mysterious societies, there's corruption and there's blah blah blah. But when we travel there and live there, we find it very good. It's like our society. Then your concept, your principle will change because the truth has changed. And this is what we can find in Gulliver. Maybe he believed in certain things, but when he made his travel and he found a lot of things, his concepts about life has changed. So the truth is not absolute. Okay, it's subjective. Maybe even that. Maybe you disagree with me, and a lot of my colleagues will disagree with me about that. Maybe you say that is the absolute truth, but maybe I'm not sure. Maybe within years that come, we find that is not absolute truth. It's a fake. We just lie, or maybe we deceive ourselves with these certain things. With all respect to all beliefs and religions, people, of course. But at the end, we will what? We will change this fact from absolute truth to what? To a lie. So I want to conclude that truth is not absolute, it's subject, it changes within days, with experience, with expanding or developing our mind and our thoughts, our knowledge about life, about everything. And we can find that later on, it's the real things. When you change your mind, everything will change. Even the real thing, even the fact will change with you. That's all I guess.
Okay, the idea that you mentioned, and somehow it is, you see, clear while reading the final chapter of Gulliver's Travel. Somehow we know that with Gulliver everything is clear. When Gulliver knows somehow that he has related to is somewhat truthful, his deeds or some other thing that make men intentionally wiser. As in this part, inform, not to amuse thee. Virgil, sinner declares, is telling you, see, the truth context. But as mentioned, maybe death, and some of the friends you said, I better see to clarify this, because if some of the people are asked about the existence of God, okay, maybe there are some, I don't know whether they are, you see, blasphemous or not, may not believe in it, and they think that it is not the only truth. But can you find anybody who rejects that there is not any death in the world? As I'm not going to tell that this is the truth of the word, as we may have indeterminacy of some of his ideas. We cannot determine what is going, you see, to happen after death. We have heard something, we have read, you see, the story, we believe such ideas because we have gone through, you see, the verses of Holy Quran, and we trust it. Okay, one of the ways is trust. As John Locke says that it is impossible to change the mind of those people except things by trust. It is very difficult, if not impossible, to change the mind of those people except things by trust. This is what you see John Locke says. Now, but with death, it happens sooner or later for everybody. Nobody is able to escape death. We see that yes, there are some people using hydrogen and some other substances in the world for their own health, to not to somehow die, you see, in this sense, finishing breathing, okay, stopping the pulses of the heart. This is what they mean by death. But maybe this is the way that when we go through these, you see now through these stories, these somehow open different, you see, perspectives before our eyes. Like Gulliver, who has traveled in different lands, we start also asking questions of these different voyages. All right? And this is that I think is much more important than achieving truth, since we are in search of something, whether it is true or it is false. Okay, Swift here has shown us some man's follies, and some man's follies relating to man's nature. Even in nature, maybe there are some thing make man toward the other, you see, ways, toward the vices other than virtues. But it is not the only angle of man's life. There are different, you see, angles. So here we can say that the meaning with the truth, the meaning with perfection, the meaning with man is somehow rather right or rather wrong. Not this is the only absolute, and everybody on the earth must, there's a must here, must obey or imitate it. Do you agree? Like as you see the last thing that I mentioned, man goes to the moon, and man spent billions, but there are a lot of people hungry in the world. If I think we are able to find such meanings in our life through all the words of these novels, because they are showing us something, then I think everything is enough. Maybe it is one of the concepts of perfection. Maybe it is one of the concepts of the absolute truth, even if its absolute truth is not achievable. Yes, I will listen to your ideas. Nobody is going to talk? Okay. Thank you, dear friends. I hope you go once through the novel. And for our next session, we will start with Sound and Fury. I have left some questions for you. We can focus on those questions. Wish you the best and happy time. Any idea? I have read, you see, the things that you have written here. Yes. Thank you very much. Have a very good time.